Lesson 133. I will not value what is valueless.
Hi there. Have you ever worried that our spiritual journey might demand some sort of sacrifice? What if we had to give up things that bring us joy or even fun? What if I told you that these fears are merely tricks, meant to delay us from making a commitment we're truly ready to make? What if, instead of requiring sacrifices, our spiritual path leads us directly to greater joy? Let's delve into these intriguing questions in today's Lesson 133.
I will not value what is valueless.
After exploring many theoretical ideas, it can be helpful to focus on how this Course in Miracles can help us with our practical concerns.
This we will do today. We will not speak of lofty, world-encompassing ideas, but dwell instead on benefits to you.
We often ask too little of life, and settle for material things that the world values, but these worldly things ultimately lead us to sorrow instead of happiness. A Course in Miracles doesn't attempt to take away what little we have or replace worldly satisfactions with utopian ideals. There are no real satisfactions in this world. Instead, let's consider the real criteria by which we can test all things we think we want, so we can choose wisely and pursue what truly matters. We can't make the laws that govern our choices, but we can choose wisely by learning about the laws we set in motion when we have to choose and the alternatives we have. As we've already seen in this course, in truth, we can only choose between two options, even though it may appear that there are many. Each choice brings us either everything or nothing. There is no compromise, there is no in-between. Therefore, if we learn how to distinguish everything from nothing, we can make the best choice. It is like when we discussed the two parallel worlds we live in, and the fact that we can see only one at a time, the world of the ego and the world of spirit, the world of fear and the world of love, the world of time and the world of timelessness. Here, with this lesson, we're reminded that each holy instant we have to make a choice, and the choice is between these two options. Let's learn how to make the right choice then. Here are 4 illuminating guidelines that will help us distinguish a choice made by our ego from one made by our inner true self. First, if we choose something that won't last forever, what we chose is valueless. A temporary value is no value at all. Time can never take away a value that is real. Anything that fades and dies was never there in the first place and won't give us anything. Let's not be deceived by something that looks appealing but doesn't actually exist. Next, if we choose to take something away from someone else, we'll have nothing left. This is because when we deny our brother's right to everything, we deny our own. We won't be able to recognize the things we really have and will think they don't exist. Those who try to take away from others have been deceived by the illusion that loss can offer gain. One man's loss is another man's gain? Not quite, not from the metaphysical perspective of A Course in Miracles. Loss must offer loss and nothing more. Both will only lose. This is worth repeating, loss offers only loss. Third, and most importantly, we need to think about why our choice is important to us and what purpose it serves.
Why is the choice you make of value to you? What attracts your mind to it? What purpose does it serve?
Here, it is easy to be deceived. Our ego fails to recognize what it really wants, as it doesn't even perceive truth as it is, for it needs to maintain appearances to protect its goals and show its innocence. But the camouflage of our ego can deceive only those who allow themselves to be deceived. Its goals are obvious when we look closely, but what usually happens is that not only do we allow ourselves to be deceived, but we also deceive ourselves by believing we have served our best interests. Finally, the hardest criterion to believe is that if we feel any guilt about our choice, we have allowed the ego's goals to come in the way of the real alternatives. We must remember that there are only two options, and if we don't realize that, we might perceive the alternatives as fearful and dangerous when they are, in fact, just nothing. All things are either valuable or valueless, worthy of our efforts or not. If we keep this in mind, choosing is not difficult at all. Complexity is just a smokescreen that hides the fact that the decision is easy. Why is it important to learn this? It's not just to make choices easily and without pain. Heaven is reached with empty hands and open minds. We come with nothing so that we can find everything and claim it as our own. We are striving to reach this state of heaven today. We put aside any self-deceptions and proceed with an honest willingness to value what is truly valuable and real. Today, let's spend 2 extended practice periods of 15 minutes each. Let's begin by repeating this.
I will not value what is valueless, and only what has value do I seek, for only that do I desire to find.
I will not value what is valueless, and only what has value do I seek, for only that do I desire to find.
I will not value what is valueless, and only what has value do I seek, for only that do I desire to find.
Then, let's be open to receive what awaits all those who approach the gates of heaven unburdened, and they will swing open for us. Today, if we feel we are starting to collect some needless burdens or have difficult decisions to make, let's be quick to respond with this simple thought.
I will not value what is valueless, for what is valuable belongs to me.
I will not value what is valueless, for what is valuable belongs to me.
I will not value what is valueless, for what is valuable belongs to me.
Incredible, isn't it? How does this sound to you? Don't you think these are powerful tools that can guide us in making important decisions in our daily lives? Great job so far. You're doing great. See you tomorrow for another powerful lesson. Quick note before you go. Making these videos is a labor of love, but it's still financially challenging. If you've found value in what you've watched, please consider supporting with a donation. Even the humblest contribution means the world and ensures the continuation of these daily lessons. Thank you for your generosity.
Did you enjoy the video and find it helpful? Please give it a like and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. We have a new lesson every day. And if you've been with us for a while, please consider supporting the channel. There's a lot of love behind these videos. Check out the video description for more details.